Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where today we're breaking down all the goals scored by PSG as they batter Real Madrid in the Clown World Cup. Now, it's going to be probably a bit of a long one because there's a lot of technical details I'm going to break down and show you with this Real Madrid team. I'm going to show you this. Yeah, this is you might not find it interesting, but it really is if you actually understand what's going on. Watch the separation here between these two players, okay? I'm going to show you. Unfortunately, the camera angle doesn't do it justice, but I'm going to try to show you exactly what happens here. Watch this movement. Do you see that little shimmy sidestep there, right? That opens up an opportunity because he switches off. Watch what happens. Just because he's gone from there to there, he creates space to come back there. Now, what does that mean? One of the things which I'd always used to tell people when I was coaching is if you want to create space here, you go backwards to go forwards. You walk away from the space that you want to run into, okay? And that's what they do here. And they get caught out. Watch. As we start moving the ball here, do you see he's over here, right? Now, he's in two minds. What he should do is hold his shape. Doesn't. He starts to think about this player here because he's unmarked. But the ball goes out here. Player comes to close him down. You need to back up that player straight away. Watch as this move progresses. Do you see that? Bump, bump. Because of that movement, he's completely gone and he's not quite tracking his player. And we can see that as this clip progresses. Let's just move this forward ever so slightly. As he goes, you can see now, look, bump. As he goes there, look, he should have been closer. He should have been closer. He's not. So what it enables is because this was the player that created the space. He didn't utilize it. He is instead. He's coming into that gap that he's basically done a little rotation around. Arsenal did this really well, by the way, on their right-hand side with Saka. Really well. And watch what ends up happening. He's a little bit too late. You can see now he's starting to sprint. You can see he's still, I know where I should have been. I know where I should have been. I should have been in that little pocket, backing up my right back as he's pressured over towards that ball. And I'm not. All of a sudden, bump, he receives the ball. Get out of the way, ref. Receives that ball in that little tiny pocket of space. And then look who appears. The same guy who created the space in the first place. Bump, behind him, where he's just been exploited. Because what happens is he's ever so slightly out of sync of play. And this is one of those important things that people think that the players are doing the right thing because it looks like, but they're not. So because he's 2 steps behind, he should have already been there. So then when the ball's passed in, I think is into Dembele there, he should either be able to make a challenge or recover back to the space that he's gone from. But he's still arriving. So he can't change his action and go back to where he's come from. He's just ever so slightly out of phase. And this is, I think, because Xabi Alonso is changing their system at Real Madrid, and I think they're going to get battered if they keep playing like this. I really do. But nothing comes of it. Bump, bit of a savey thing, nothing special. But that little key movement there, and you can see how the out of syncness that's going on is indicative to happens throughout the rest of all this little breakdown I'm going to show you here. But I tell you, if you can understand that and you can see that, that's massive. Because I promise you now, they don't understand at Real Madrid why that's happening. I tell you right now. Okay, watch this. Same scenario. Very, very similar situation. Ball goes out wide. You've got your 2 players again, okay? So you've got your high player. I think it's Dembele. This time, he's not, right? Let's just watch, see if he tracks back. Look, dum. Do you see he starts leaving the space straight away, leaving the space for somebody else to run into, or himself? Doesn't matter. He's just jogging out of that space and then completely unaware because they're playing their 1-2-3 with their wing. But I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't think they know what they're doing. They're going to have a real hard time trying to transition this system the way they're currently set. Little clip, just moved it on a little second. He's just jogged back a little further. Can you see? They don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? 1, 2, 3 players, technically 4 players. They're not marking a single Paris Saint-Germain player, and they're not backing up the pressure on the ball. So this guy is completely isolated for a 1v1. One of these players should be here close enough, but they can't because they're going to be leaving a massive gap. But then they're leaving all these players unmarked. Can you see how disjointed this system looks? And how, like, by the way, there's 3 unmarked players over here. And this time, 1, 2, both of these players, neither of them use that space. It's a different guy coming from deep, coming into that space there. Watch. As soon as the ball goes back, bump, and it's straight in. And then it's going to go straight behind to Hakimi right here. I mean, the movement isn't special. It's not fantastic. It's not really dynamic, and they're completely confusing them. It's just that Real Madrid have no idea what they're doing. Whatever system this is, they're like, well, he's pressuring the ball. Am I backing him up? Am I staying with a 3? Where's the pressure in midfield? They don't know what to do. And just these little sidesteps and these little shimmies are completely exposing them. And it's just way, way too easy. And we're not even close to getting into the high lines and all the other disjointed things they're doing. But PSG are making them look stupid. And all of that simple movement, there isn't a Real Madrid player anywhere near a PSG player close enough to intercept the pass, stop the ball going into the little side channel here into the half space. Nowhere. Next thing, crosses in. Courtois. Is it a good save? No, I think it hits him more than he saves it. He's kind of got going across the goal and it catches him in the foot. He's not really saving that. You can see he's actually going the other way. He's trying to stop himself. That's why he ends up falling over. But he still gets the save, which is still important. But there's no Real Madrid player anywhere near stopping any of this movement. How do you stop that movement? You stand in front of the player. You stop him running. You run with him. No one is running with any of the runners. They're not having no idea about that little half space that's getting exposed from them. It's just awful for Madrid. Now Mbappe here takes a shot, and it's absolutely right. This is really telling. I'm going to play it and see if you notice, and then I'm going to tell you what's going on. Right, watch. Boom! Terrible shot. This is what I want you to notice right now. First off, he shouldn't have taken that shot in the first place. He had so many block shots where the defender was just in front of him, and he smashed it at the defender. But this is the important part. Watch this. What do you see? What did you see? Tell you what I saw. A player's running onto the ball, and he can run into the space and exploit the space in behind. And Mbappe has completely and utterly stopped him. He's gone, no, I'm in charge. Give me the ball. And he's stopped his Real Madrid teammate keeping this attack going, and they lose the momentum. That's what happens right there. Watch, bump, 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 stops him, and he should have just run. They're fighting over, like, Mbappe doesn't understand what he's doing. So here's one of the fundamental things in football, which is so simple, but people still do it wrong all the day. Right. Which way is Mbappe going? He's going that way. Other guy's going that way. You give it to the guy that's going towards the goal. Even if it's wide, you don't give it to the guy that's running away from the goal. You're running away from it. No, give it to the guy that's going to exploit the space and running behind. But he's just not. And that is showing a player who can't really play with teammates. Is he a world talent? Yeah. But do you want him in your team? Because does he make your team better? Because he plays a part of the team? No, he's a solo player. He really is. And you're starting to see it a little bit more every sort of little clip with Real Madrid and the way he's playing. He's got a lot to learn, a lot of way to change his game to be one of the world's greats. So here we are leading up to the first goal. And you can probably already see exactly what I'm going to point out is this massive gap here, which is going to be exploited. You've got runners coming in straight away. But also, you've got nobody close enough to put pressure on this ball. There's no one, well, let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got no one here being able to put pressure back here to stop them doing anything. Okay. So on the ball, he's got loads of options. He's not sure where to go because he can't go towards the ball because he can't really leave this guy too far wide out here unmarked, opening up that gap there. No one from the midfield is really pressuring this ball. Look, bump, off he goes. No one's tracking the runner, and it's off to the races. And this is going to happen over and over and over again through this technical breakdown. Now watch this as well. This is important. So as this pass is made, look what he's done. He's had to turn and run and pressure the ball, which what should have really happened is he should have gone. I think it's Rudiger here. He should have gone. The reason why he doesn't want to is because if he chooses to put the ball out there, he's in on his own, right? And that's Hakimi. He's going to beat you for pace. He's one of the probably not the best right back in the world, and he's gone. This guy here should not be pressuring the ball. Why? He's coming from the wrong side of the goal. Right, there's the goal. He's coming from this side. He is coming from this side. So he's coming from the point where he can push him away from the goal. He's just going to push him towards the goal. And this is really important, by the way, right? So what ends up happening, look. He comes in and he just skips around him. Why? It's not really difficult. He's running this way. And Dembele's running this way. So he shouldn't be anywhere near that tackle, but he is. What should have really happened is Rudiger comes in right here and just keeps pushing him out wide, keep pushing him out wide. Matey boy stays over here, and then they shuffle him away from the goal. They don't. They basically get in each other's way, coming into the wrong side. Look, they're not sure what to do, and ultimately the cross comes in. Now, there's nobody in the box, but it doesn't seem to matter. This, I think, is Marcus. Is it Asensio playing back here? I'm not sure who's playing. I think it's Asensio. But this is just an awful touch. This is all of that a problem? Yeah. So you've got a couple of different problems, right? You've got to think of this. That's a technical problem with the team formation and understanding where people are pressuring and when they're not pressuring, and how to actually try to win the ball defensively. This is just a technical error. Okay, so you've got a technical error with the actual whole system, and then you've got a technical error from here. Look, boom, dumph. That is a shocking first touch at any level. Shouldn't be happening, but it does. And you can also tell he's not a defender, because a defender isn't trying to stop that ball and take that. They're getting rid of it. I'm telling you why they're getting rid of it, because they can see someone's breathing down their neck. Midfield players go, nah, it's all right. If we lose it, there's another line and they'll deal with it. You cannot do that and have that touch there. It's gone straight past him, easy as. Now, there's another part here where if this doesn't go into the back of the net, Courtois getting a red card. They don't really show it, and this is what I kind of get frustrated with football coverage. They don't actually show. It's like they cover up the fact that, the goal's happened. Yeah, but there's also a foul. There's also a goalkeeper's taking somebody out. Look, comes running in, Bush takes him out, puts it into the net box. You're a very lucky chap. He scored a goal, because otherwise they're probably sending you off. But let's move it on. Highlight how bad this touch is here, though. Look how far that is away from him. Not only that, this is hilarious, okay? It's hard to see because they move the highlights on so quickly. But look at him. He's got his arms up like, what? What are you doing? Why have you let him score? Like blaming everybody else after he is the one that had the terrible touch and the terrible positional, terrible everything. Immediately blaming his teammates. Hilarious. So this is the, just watch this. Just watch what happens here. This is awful. Right. So PSG end up losing the ball. 2 Real Madrid players squeeze it out, quite comfortably take possession. Now, watch what happens right there. Bang. Okay. So this is the moment that everything goes wrong. And I'm telling you right now, you've got 3 Real Madrid players that have no interest of playing football. As soon as this ball goes into here, one of these players needs to be coming into this space to making an option or doing something, okay? You can see this space right there. Oh my goodness, I've zoomed in again and I still don't know how I do that. Let's cancel that. Right. You can see that space right there and someone needs to come and fill it, right? Bump, got the ball. Now you can see what's happening is the PSG players are filling that space between where the ball is. Look at that massive pocket there with no Real Madrid player in. So what they have to do is go backwards to try to keep possession, because one of these 3 players has not come in to try to help or make numbers or make an option, make sure that he can't just run forward. Because if he's got no one in midfield, Mark, he can just carry on running. So then watch what ends up happening. As this goes, you can see all of PSG start squeezing the ball. 1, 2, 3 are still flat, still not moving. Actually 4 technically, because there's one out wide here as well. And there's a huge gap in midfield, in centre midfield, where absolutely no one from Real Madrid bothers to go. So when this pass is getting played back here, everyone's going to start blaming Rudiger, which is, okay, great. He does make a technical problem. He does have a, pass is terrible, but I'm telling you why his pass is terrible. He is looking down the field right now, looking for a player to run in here so he can just fizz the ball into that space there. That's what he's looking to do, because that's the way he's facing. He knows he can't pass the ball there because he was just being marked by that kiddie there. He's got an option maybe to dink it out here, but he's looking down the field and you can see 3 of his teammates, and can he just fizz the ball towards them? As that ball comes in, he's turned. It's all too late. Now makes a mistake and loses the football. Dumph, gone, and he's in. Now, is his turn rubbish? Yeah. Is his technical ability there on the ball rubbish? Yeah. But you're looking at that massive area there, and there's not a single Real Madrid player where he can pass the ball. So this line that's squeezing makes it very difficult for him to do anything. And he's just, you can see his mind, he doesn't know what to do in his mind. And that's, with the pressure, that's what's made him make the technical mistake. Making a technical mistake, like the first goal when he's just on his own, That's unacceptable. When you're in a situation like this and there isn't an option down the middle of the field or the way you're facing because your teammates haven't done what they're supposed to do and rotate in to receive the ball, that's added to you. It's not your fault, but it is your fault, if that makes sense. It's 60% yours because you shouldn't have done that, but it's 40% your teammates for not coming in and helping you deal with that problem. And here we go. It's just a tidy finish. Just slots it in. Nice and easy. This is yet another Mbappe thing. He's just run the length of the field, beaten a couple of players, got inside. He's going to take his shot, has no idea that there's any players near him, and it's blocked. Another shot for no reason that's blocked when you've got a player unmarked on the top of the 18-yard box you can roll it to, who's probably going to find the top corner for you. Doesn't do it, doesn't see it, couldn't care less. Now, this is just absolutely shocking. This is it's a bad pass out here. It really is. Look how slow that ball's coming out here. Now, you've got a massive problem again because Real Madrid don't know what they're doing. You've got 6 players trying to put pressure on this ball, and I'd say those 3 there are completely and utterly irrelevant and not doing absolutely anything. They don't understand about squeezing the ball, squeezing the play, squeezing the field. This side doesn't need to be squeezed. You don't need any players over there because the ball's over here. You cannot squeeze if you've got that massive pocket of space behind you. So you can see that, look at how high they are. And there's nobody on this side of the field to actually try to put pressure on and try to stop that. Because look, that's where he is. He's on the wrong side of the field. He hasn't tracked and rotated over. So it's a simple thing to learn, by the way. It's really, really easy. Wherever the ball is, so if you're that defensive midfielder or you're that one that's supposed to intercept the passes or stop them from doing this, wherever the ball goes along this line here, as it moves along, you just shift along back here. Right. What he's ended up doing is staying when the ball was passed back to the keeper. He stood in line with that. And when the ball starts to get passed over here, all he has to do is start tracking over. So then he's actually here to stop this pass. Nowhere near it. Absolutely nowhere near it. Boom, ball comes in. Now, again, just like the other goal that happened where you had people not knowing who's pressuring and who's going. 1, 2 players both going to pressure for the ball. Well, you don't have the numbers. You've got 6 up front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are taken out of the play. 7, 8 players now. And these players are nowhere near close enough because they weren't reading the movements from when the ball went back to the keeper and out to the right back. So now, boom. Oh, look. How are you defending? What's going on? I mean, it's embarrassing. This is Real Madrid. This is absolutely embarrassing. It's going to be some problems, I think, for them to start the season if they keep playing this Xabi Alonso new little system he's doing. Boom, straight in, first time. Where's it going to go? First time back out. You can see the runners. 1, 2, 3, 4v2. How are you 4v2? From a simple ball out to the right back. I'll tell you how, because the entire team set up doesn't know what they're doing. No one's working for each other. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. Finishes off the 1-2, 1-2, but also you know that there's players on the back stick. And there's no one marking them, and it's just a case, let's just stop, take our time, and kick it in the net box. Dosh, easy. I mean, that's simple football. And it's all because Real Madrid's system and shape is all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. More tactical problems here with Real Madrid. Now, look at this. That's your line. That's absolutely fine, by the way. I really should do a coaching course on it. One of my little 25-minute videos explaining how the flat back 4 works. Because everyone thinks the flat back 4 is flat like that. It's not. It's actually a line. So think of that. That would actually be a pretty good line for a flat back 4. Now, you've also got to remember what you're responsible for is what's in front of you. So you cover that space, backing up your teammate, and you cover that space there, backing up him, okay? So this player here can actually get across because he's deeper here. It's easier for him than this player here, right? That's the unique part of this system. They're not playing that system. They're playing a 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what's going on. So when this ball goes back here, watch. He starts stepping up and so does he. Rudiger doesn't, right? And this they're all just totally and utterly disconnected. So you've got 2 players trying to get to the halfway line. Why, I don't know, because there's no pressure on the ball. And if you don't have pressure on the ball, you can't play a high line. You can't step up because there's no one really pressuring that ball. Look, in it comes, bump. Step forward. He knows he's in trouble. There's a massive gap in behind, and it's just a simple ball. Nothing, well, he has a shot trying to beat the keeper, but look, bump. Off to the races. 1v1 again. what are they doing? I have no idea how this team is expected to win football games if they're playing like this. Again, you've got the exact same problem where look at how high everybody is, and there's nobody able to cover. Simple pass out, boom, look, 1, 2, 3 back here. Well, what are they going to do? They're too far away. So when people are playing with a back three, all you have to do is sit one person on that side, one person on that side, and you basically take out all the back three. They're absolutely useless. Okay, and every time you just got to feed the runner. And of course, Rudiger's going to go with the runner. Off he goes. I think they call this goal offside. I don't think it is, though. I'm going to show you that in a second. He has to go with the runner, and no other covering defenders can run with him. One man on his own again. And a simple pass is going to take him out of the equation. And of course, that blind side run is easy, and it's a tap in. But I think they call it off. And to me, there he does look offside. If you look at the gap, the distance between that foot there and that line there. I'm using this little grass cutting mowing line as my little line of perception. You can see he's a little too far forward. But that is a massive, massive problem for Real Madrid. So this is some of the most easiest football to defend ever. It's the old up, back and through. So he knocks it up. Okay, so he's pulled over, going with his man. And again, I think it's just because nobody knows who's pressuring the ball. No one knows who they're supposed to be covering. No one really knows exactly what they're doing. So right now, you're looking at he's going to be running through. He needs to be tracking him. Look how far behind he is than the Real Madrid player right there. So as the ball goes back, bump. Look, he stops, forgets about this player, and he's backing up this player here, trying to defend this little pocket of space here, and a little foursome. Look, there's 4 of them, completely unaware that there's a massive gap behind him, and the player is running off his shoulder into it. Dump, too late. He's running backwards. It's too late. Ball's already been. Now, if you're playing this sort of system, you might have a keeper that can run up and deal with those problems. Courtois not that keeper. So you can see he's in 2 minds. Does he come to go to the ball? He doesn't. Oh, no. He's in all sorts of trouble. And it's the same simple pass from one side of the field to the other. And there's no Real Madrid player on either side covering, marking, doing whatever, because the 3 just negated by one simple pass because their starting position is too high. They're just not in a situation where they can tackle or do anything. So what that also means is when they're coming to tackle the player on the ball, they're coming from the wrong side. They're not coming from a goal side. So it makes it easier for the striker just to create his pocket of space to get his shot. And because they're doing like a recovery run, they're actually overrunning. So that you can see they run past the guy with the ball, even though they slow him down a bit, but they end up running past him. And again, there's no look. Who's pressuring? Who's going for the ball? They just don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4 Real Madrid players are taken out by 2 PSG players just because they don't know what they're doing. You cannot have 4 players in the ball and no one's pressuring the ball, the pass, the passing lane, or anything. They're really going to struggle if they keep playing this system, Xabi Alonso. It's hilarious for me. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.